Hi, it's me, Farmals. Welcome back. Take a seat. I bet you'll never guess what we're going to talk all about today. At last, the Minecraft 1.21 update has released in full, adding a bunch of brand new things. Today it's about time we zoom in a little bit closer, get our hands down and dirty in the dirt, and talk all about some farms. Down below, you let me know, what is your #1 go-to farm? You need it in every world. Drown. Drown? Drown. To me, Drown are one of the most interesting mobs in the entire game, and also, unfortunately, one of the more slept on ones as well, especially when it comes to setting up a farm. Taking a look at our world as a whole, we've got options on both Java and Bedrock. Drown are going to spawn in every single ocean biome, as well as the river biomes across your entire world. Aside from the beautiful general bonus of experience and maybe rotten plush for your cleric emerald farm, the big reason we'd want to farm Drown inside of 1.21 is this thing right here. Check this sword out right here. The beautifully named sword has a little enchantment called Looting 3, and pretty easy to get. With the help of the Looting 3 enchantment, I have a 17% chance to get a copper ingot every single time when I take a Drowned out. Unfortunately, that 17 is really not showing up right now when I needed it to, but yeah, just trust me, it works. Now, today's video isn't really a how to build every single farm we're talking about. Instead, it's more of a curated list of farms that you should look into. But long story short, the basics of building a Drown farm, at least on Minecraft Java: locate an isolated river biome, build an AFK spot, probably up in the air, lure a poor unsuspecting villager into the water, and somehow maybe set up a trap to contain that buddy so it doesn't leave the water. Depending on how everything works out, hopefully buddy will notice other buddy in the background. AFK spot, build one up high in the air, come back down every once in a while, and take the Drowned out every one of them with your Looting 3 sword. As a potentially beautiful little bonus, coming in the Minecraft 1.21.10 update on Bedrock, Drown spawning will be in parity in the Dripzone Caves biome. This is going to mean that Drown will spawn in aquifers inside of this biome too. Iron Farm, Iron Farm. Ah yes, one of my favorite farms to build of all time, and even better for Minecraft 1.21, depending on how you want to do things. The farm actually gets an upgrade. So you know me, from time to time I like to post a tutorial farm or two on the channel, and it just so happens that when it comes to farms that I posted the most of, I mean, it's gotta be an iron farm. I have so many different designs. But after you finish watching this video, brand new for the 1.21 update, an easier, faster to build iron farm than I've ever designed before. So of course, in honor of 1.21, to not only have infinite iron, but also maybe have iron fancily condensed down into solid blocks, you've got to build this brand new iron design. This farm, of course, is going to utilize the brand new wonderful crafter, a little bit of clever redstone and auto sorter, and of course, a couple of trusty old villagers with a zombie to farm iron golems up pretty much continuously. When I was doing all of my rate and farm testing, I was kind of floored by how efficient this new design is. Alright, so look, I know I said I wasn't going to do step-by-step tutorials inside of this video, but this farm, I mean, I almost can't resist it. It's way too easy to build. We're gonna kick it all off in farm fashion with a chest on the bottom, a line of hoppers going into it. We'll line mud on top of that, we'll put bamboo on top of the mud, and oh boy, at the sight of bamboo, you already know where I'm going with this one. Bamboo farms. Ever since their reinvention in the last update, 1.20, with that beautiful bamboo wood set, I mean, with how actually insanely easy this thing is to build on a small scale and level it up to a larger scale, I mean, it's still pretty straightforward. Well, I mean, look, it's a no-brainer. A bamboo farm, building one for Minecraft 1.21, even if it's just a small little thing like this that you set up at your base and let run in the background for like a long time, I mean, you're gonna stockpile up wood. Back inside of my world, the guide, I mean, the bamboo farm is a farm that we built like a million trillion years ago and is easily one of my best, most useful farms that I have running. Like, looking around at my base, of course, I don't actually build with that much bamboo wood, but if I did ever need to build with bamboo wood, I mean, I've got chests and chests of the stuff over here, and then I actually went ahead and condensed a lot of this and moved it over to the storage building a long time ago too. Aesthetically too, this is another farm that I just really like the looks of. Maybe use bamboo on the front of it, at the least you get this cool machine looking thing. Instead of mud and hoppers, if you want to build your farm a little bit bigger, maybe even larger than this one right here, swap the line of hoppers out for a hopper minecart and a rail line. But another cool thing you can do with bamboo in your world, if you're not too into redstone, just set up some kind of basic manual bamboo farm. Every once in a while, come back over to this stuff, harvest it, and I mean it's quick, easy bamboo. Next up, a like button, tap it, and subscribe for more videos just like this. I've got a lot more where this came from, if you like it. After that, I bet you can't guess what I'm gonna say next. Take a look at this villager, the bell, the workstation, the small bed. It's almost as if I have a small village down here 20 or so blocks under the ground. Moving up straight up onto the ground above it. Well, what do we have here but a gigantic landed platform with a small, super easy to build trap sitting dead center. Is this perhaps a raid farm? Alright, so with the introduction of this ominous stuff in 1.21, this farm has changed a little bit, but it's essentially the same. To be honest, maybe in 1.21 with these changes, this farm actually got better because I can control when I want the raid to actually begin. With an ominous bottle standing up here on the ground, I'm close enough to the villager that my effect is immediately going to turn into the raid omen. With this terrible thing as the raid omen, I've got some time to get into position. Alternatively, what I could have done is come down here and drunk the bottle and started the raid from down below now. Now, if I wanted to make a list as to why you need a raid farm in your life, I mean, it's almost impossible. There are so many reasons you would want to set one of these things up. The sheer amount of loot that you're going to pull from a raid farm, and considering how easy these things are to build, I mean, it's shocking, really. Pretty much the hardest part of building this farm is going to be moving yourself out to the middle of nowhere, USA, to set it up, like a platform in the middle of the ocean. After that, I mean, just follow this tutorial from my tutorial playlist, and you'll have it built in like one Minecraft today. Yeah, so I don't mean to self-plug like too much here, of course, but if you like any of these farms today, odds are that I have a tutorial for it or a different version of it inside of my tutorial playlist. Over here inside of the farm world, I'm looking around, I'm searching desperately for a nether portal, because that nether portal is going to take me over to the next amazing farm. A great one for any update, really. So all of these farms are definitely possible on both versions of the game, but they might end up looking a little bit different. 100% of the time, no matter the update, this gold farm right here is what you need inside of your world. I mean, take a look at this thing. We have platforms approximately 20 by 20 with trap doors placed in the middle. That's essentially it. Even more cool for this farm, depending on how you want to set it up, you could make it fully automatic so the piglins just fall down and get taken out. But you're not going to get as many drops. Instead, when it comes to a gold farm, which is great for all of the experience that you're going to get as well as the gold, I highly recommend building this thing and taking the mobs out manually. With how I've set it out, most of the mobs are brought down to like 1-2 hit, so it's insanely easy to use. Also, on Minecraft Java, by building this thing up on top of the nether, I mean, look at the spawns back there. They're isolated up here, and it's actually insane, kind of illegal feeling. This was updates ago now. I think with the 1.18 cycle, the devs mentioned how they want to maybe remove nether roof farms, and really, to be honest, this farm is the sole reason they would want to remove them. It's so overpowered. Bee farm. You know, thinking back, it's been a long time, like since Minecraft Survival, long time, since I've actually set up an automatic bee farm inside of one of my worlds, but man, these things are great to have. Even more great about these things, not only are they wonderful to have, but they're so easy to build. Essentially, bee nest with an observer looking at it, a little bit of redstone dust on top of it, dispenser behind it with shears inside of it. That's definitely a shear, okay? On the side of this thing, I'm going to go ahead and block it in all around so my honeycombs have no option but forward. After that, slap something of a roof on it, and then quickly, carefully, we need bees inside of it, as many as possible. Alright, fine. Do you want the freedom? You have it. Get a bunch of bees trapped inside of this thing with some flowers around. Spore blossoms on the ceiling could work too, and voila, just like that, all you've got to do is give it a little bit of time. Depending on how big or go home you're going with your farm, it maybe do like hoppers on the bottom. If it's going to be a little bit larger, like you need a lot of honeycombs for a lot of copper waxing inside of this update, then maybe do a whole minecart collection system like I talked about with the bamboo farm. With this thing set up like this, in no time at all I would need to do is wait, and honeycombs are going to pile up. Inside of Minecraft 1.21, honeycombs are great for a couple of different things. Like always, you could use the honeycombs to make the wonderfully stunning looking honeycomb block that sounds so good too, or of course, maybe in more 1.21 fashion, honeycombs to wax not only signs, but also copper blocks as well. Freshly upgraded for the Minecraft 1.21 update and 1.21.10 on Bedrock, we've got the Witch. Beautifully, and by beautifully I mean stunningly, built into the 1.21 update on Java, we take a witch out, and every single time when you take this witch out, you will get 4 to 8 redstone dust. Bring a little bit of looting into the mix and it gets even more romantic. So in order to make redstone witch farms a little bit more viable, if you needed a reason other than glowstone to make these farms, yeah, you get loads more redstone dust. This is one of those farms that I am so grateful every single day of every second that I wake up that I took a little bit of time in my world to go out, find a witch hut, and build one of these things in my nearby swamp. This farm, even though I'm on the ground and it doesn't look like it's running very much, well, trust me, as soon as I go up to the sky at my AFK spot, drops start dropping and dropping and dropping. We're talking everything inside of this chest, and if you want to do things manually, potions too. In the modern era of Minecraft, I feel like a witch farm gets a little bit more slept on than it used to, but these things are always a great thing to build because of the large amount of drops that they get. I'm pretty sure, too, on Minecraft Bedrock, they're even easier to build than they are on Java. So that's nice. And so over the course of today's video, we've looked at farm after farm, but we haven't talked once about the theme of Minecraft 1.21. You see, Minecraft 1.21, the big thrill, the grand adventure is down inside of the trial chambers. You find the chambers, you find the breeze, you don't get breeze balled. You corner these buddies, spam them, and take them out, and then hopefully, if you're lucky, you get yourself a little, a chicken. We get a chicken, not a key. But inside of this room, up high in the corner, we're gonna need keys. More specifically, a special kind of key. If you're a lover of the maze or any of the other really good stuff inside of 1.21, this little bottle with the red eyes is gonna be your ticket. Now, inside of this update, there are a couple different ways you could go about getting your hands on that little bottle. One of the easiest ways, though, is going to be the banner-headed pillager. These things will spawn from time to time inside of your world, or a little bit more commonly and frequently, over at the pillager outpost. If one could say, turn this into a gigantic farm, well, that right there might be the exact way. So pretty soon, I'm gonna have a brand new tutorial out on a pillager outpost farm. I've freshly designed a brand new one for the Minecraft 1.21 update. On its own, a pillager farm might not exactly be the best thing in the world, like you're just gonna get a lot of crossbows and experience, but those ominous bottles that can come from this farm relatively easily after you get the thing set up, I mean, that takes the cake. In order to enjoy all of the ominous-y goodness inside of your world at a second's demand whenever you want, a pillager outpost farm might be the move to go. Well, here we are, the final thing on today's list. Quick, think fast. What is one of the best things to have for the 1.21 update? Most fun things to have for the 1.21 update? And also, newest things to have for the 1.21 update? Oh yes, that's right, it's been in front of us the whole time. The wind charge. Honestly, it's a little bit of a crime that I haven't mentioned a farm for this stuff until this point in the video. The very final farm. But I have to include it. If you're looking for one of the easiest to build and funnest farms in Minecraft 1.21, then head over to your local trial chamber structure, locate a breeze spawner, and basically build essentially a small contained box container around the breeze spawner. At the bottom of the thing, set up some water currents going into hoppers, and then wait for the breeze to drop down. Once they drop down, swing your sword at them. Maybe do a little bit better than I did and get like looting sword. That's probably better. After all, the breeze spawners are on a bit of a painful 30-minute cooldown, but either way, set up this breeze farm. It's so easy to do, and in no time, you'll get rods on rods on rods, as well as some of the extra trial chamber spawner loot too. You could even pair this farm with my pillager farm, get the ominous bottles, and get some ominous spawner loot, and more breeze faster too. Best news of the day here, I've got you. If you're looking for the best breeze farm, check my tutorial playlist right now because this video is just about over. If everything goes as planned, I'll have my breeze farm tutorial out for you, and inside of that playlist showing you exactly how to build Minecraft's easiest and best breeze farm around. And so, some of the best farms for Minecraft 1.21, there you go. Do you have another farm you'd add to the list? Drop it down below and tap that like button. I'd like to send a huge thank you to my patrons, Ground Crazy May, Medical Boomstick, Fire Dragon 19, Steve M, and Nick C for helping make this content possible. It's been me, Waddles. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.